Viruses are non-cellular nucleoprotein particle. They act as connecting link or bridge between the non-living and living organism because they share properties with both non-living and living organisms. When they remain outside the living host cell, they act as non-living, and when they enter the living host cell, they start to act as the living organisms. As far their chemical composition is concerned, viruses are made up of only nucleic acid and protein. And it is very important to know here that the nucleic acid found in the virus is either DNA or RNA. What does it mean? It means that a particular virus has either DNA or RNA. The same virus cannot have both DNA and RNA as their genome. So this is very unique. The viruses differ from the other living organism in this sense that as far their genome is concerned, they have either DNA or RNA as their genetic material. Okay? The viruses are non-cellular. Viruses do not have any cell. Therefore, they are called non-cellular. Non-cellular, they do not have any cell. They consist of only protein and nucleic acid. And these protein and nucleic acid component, the protein form the sheath, the protein form a sheath, the coat, the outer covering, whereas the nucleic acid form the central core of the virus. The viruses, the nucleic acid form the central core around which the protein is present, and the protein form the sheath. Protein forms a coat, and the protein part of the virus is known as the capsid. And the capsid, which is proteinaceous in nature, consists of a number of subunits, and all these subunits are called capsomeres. So there are very important terminology. What is capsid? The protein coat or the protein sheath of a particular virus is known as the capsid. Whereas this capsid is chemically made up of a number of smaller subunits, and these subunits are known as the capsomere. And each capsomere is made up of a polypeptide chain. And you all know that what is polypeptide chain? Polypeptide chain is made up of a number of amino acids linked together by the peptide bond. The peptide bond, CONH bond, that is called peptide bond. And this polypeptide chain acts as protein. So this the capsomere is made up of a polypeptide chain, and capsomere acts as a subunit of the capsid, and the capsid is the protein coat, protein sheath, which is present in a particular virus. And the genetic material, that is the genome of a virus, is either DNA or RNA. And the DNA may be consisting of the DNA may be double-stranded or single-stranded found in the viruses. And viruses are very unique. Just I have said you, and just I want to point out here that viruses differ from all the other living organisms in this sense that they have either DNA or RNA. The same virus cannot have both DNA and RNA. And all the other living organisms like the human beings, prokaryotes and eukaryotes, we have both the DNA and RNA in our cell, and the DNA acts as a genetic material, and RNA acts as non-genetic, and RNA is non-genetic. If you are asked to say that which is the genetic material, whether it is DNA or RNA is the genetic material, what will be your answer? We all know that the DNA acts as the genetic material, but if you are asked to describe that whether RNA can act as genetic material or not, your answer should be that yes, viruses can be RNA. Viruses also act as the genetic material, but in viruses only. But in such viruses where RNA is present, RNA acts as a genetic material, whereas such viruses which have DNA, their genetic material is the DNA. But on this basis, we can say that the DNA is the genetic material, but RNA is of two types: genetic RNA and non-genetic RNA. And where are non-genetic RNA found? Non-genetic RNA found only in the viruses. Where are genetic RNA found? Genetic RNA are found only in the viruses, and all the other living organisms have the non-genetic RNA. And you have already studied that the RNA are of different types: messenger RNA, tRNA, ribosomal RNA. All these are ribosomal RNA, tRNA, and mRNA. All these are the non-genetic RNA. The organism where the DNA is present, the DNA acts as the genetic material and RNA acts as a non-genetic. But such viruses where RNA is present, RNA acts as a genetic material. As for example, can you cite me some examples of the viruses where RNA is present? Can you cite anyone? Tell me. Can you cite such examples of viruses which have RNA as their genome? Can anyone cite any example of virus which has RNA as their genetic material where DNA is absent? Can anyone? Any one of you? अरे यार, बताइए. I am waiting. This is a very simple question, and you know that the present virus which is causing the COVID, SARS-CoV-2. SARS. Can you tell me the full form of SARS? You are studying the virus. SARS. SARS-CoV-2. What is the full form of SARS and CoV? SARS stands for the Severe Acute Respiratory Syndrome. SARS stands for severe. S for severe, A for acute, R for respiratory, and S for syndrome. But coronavirus is a type of SARS. This is the SARS-CoV-2. And SARS stands for Severe Acute Respiratory Syndrome Coronavirus 2, not 1. And all these coronavirus SARS belong to a particular family which is known as the Coronaviridae. So this is the best example of the RNA virus. You know that coronavirus, the genome of the coronavirus is made up of RNA, not the DNA. The influenza virus, AIDS virus, the virus which causes the AIDS, that is the HIV. It has also the RNA. It is also an RNA virus. Tobacco mosaic virus, TMV, tobacco mosaic virus, which you have to study in your syllabus. You have to study two viruses, plant viruses, and the example of plant viruses included in your syllabus is the tobacco mosaic virus, TMV, and TMV is the RNA virus. And you have to also study the bacterial viruses. Bacterial viruses which attack and kill the bacteria, and they are called bacteriophages, and the bacteriophages have the DNA as their genetic material. So there are viruses viruses have either DNA or RNA as their genetic material. They cannot have a particular the same virus cannot have DNA and RNA. Okay? They have either DNA or RNA. But on the other hand, all the living organisms, whether they are prokaryotes and eukaryotes, have both the DNA and RNA in their cell. Similarly, we human beings also have the DNA and RNA, and our DNA is a genetic material. Our RNA is not genetic material. Our RNA is non-genetic in nature. Okay? So viruses are, this is a very important character of the virus. Just I have just told you that viruses are chemically made up of protein and nucleic acid, and the protein part of the virus form the proteinaceous protein part of the virus form the coat or sheath, which is known as the capsid, and capsid is made up of smaller subunits, and these subunits are called capsomere, and capsomere are made up of a polypeptide chain. As far as nucleic acid forms the central core, and the nucleic acid may be either DNA or RNA. The DNA may be single-stranded or double-stranded. Similarly, RNA may be single-stranded or double-stranded. The next very important character of the virus is that viruses do not have metabolism of their own. वायरस की कोई अपनी मेटाबॉलिक एक्टिविटी नहीं होती है. बाकी किसी भी प्रोकैरियोटिक यूकैरियोटिक ऑर्गेनिज्म, चाहे वो बैक्टीरिया हो या कोई भी चीजें हो, कोई भी, all prokaryotes and eukaryotes, all living organisms have their own metabolism, but the viruses do not have their own metabolism. But the viruses do not have any metabolism of their own. Okay? Viruses can multiply like other living organisms, but viruses have a very important character of the living organisms. When the virus enter the living host cell, they can multiply themselves. And you all know that the most important character of any living organism is the reproduction. Reproduction, what is the meaning of reproduction? The process by which an organism perpetuates itself, and the process by which an organism multiply themselves. So just I have told at the very beginning of this lecture that viruses share the properties with both the living and non-living. Viruses में living के भी characters होते हैं और non-living के भी. So what is the most important character of the living organism found in the virus? Then your answer should be that viruses can multiply, viruses can reproduce. But where? In the environment? No, the viruses can only multiply when they enter the living host cell. The viruses can undergo multiplication in the living host cell, not living host cell only. They cannot multiply themselves outside the living host cell. The next very important character of the viruses is that viruses are obligate parasite. They never act as a saprophyte. Viruses, when they enter your body, when they enter the body of any living organism, plants or bacteria, they act as the obligate parasite and they act as the pathogen. What is the meaning of pathogen? You have already studied. You have to study the plant pathology in Group B. Viruses act as obligate parasite and pathogen. They can cause diseases in plants, animals, and human beings, and even they can attack and kill the bacteria. Viruses are more dangerous. They are more dangerous than the bacteria because bacteria cannot harm viruses, but viruses can harm bacteria. Viruses can attack and kill bacteria, and such viruses which attack and which are parasitic on the bacteria are called bacteriophages, which has also been included in your syllabus, and you have to study them. So now the next character is that you know that the viruses are insensitive. The viruses are insensitive to the antibiotics. Antibiotics have no effect. Antibiotics have no effect on the viruses. Antibiotics का viruses पर कोई असर नहीं होता. The viruses are insensitive to the antibiotic. That is that antibiotics have no action on the viruses. You know that antibiotics are used to treat only the bacterial and fungal diseases and protozoal diseases. They are not used for the treatment of the viral diseases. Okay? And if you know that, you may ask the question that why does doctor prescribe antibiotics even in the viral diseases? So you must know, and I want to make it very clear here, that the antibiotics are also prescribed in the viral diseases, but not to inhibit the growth of the viruses, but to prevent the secondary infection. Even you know that even in case of COVID, the antibiotics are also prescribed, but not to inhibit the growth and multiplication of the coronavirus. Rather, they are used to prevent the secondary infection. If your body becomes very weak, immunologically very weak, some other bacteria and fungi may attack your body. To prevent such secondary infection, the antibiotics are also used in the treatment of the viral diseases. But antibiotics have no action on the viruses. Then you may ask the question, what are the substances, sir? What are the substances which are antiviral? Yes, interferon. Interferon is the antiviral substance which this is very important. What is interferon? Interferon is antiviral substance which is used for the treatment of viral diseases. And interferon is a three types of beta and gamma interferon, which you have to study. Now the very important fact, you can culture the bacteria in the lab, you can culture the fungi in the lab, but viruses cannot be cultured in the lab. Viruses cannot be cultured in the cell-free medium. ठीक है, वायरस को हम लोग लैब में कल्चर नहीं कर सकते सेल फ्री मीडियम में. So these are the some very important. There are various important characters or features of viruses, but I have pointed out. I have already discussed all these points in the last lecture, which was delivered on the 26th April. But I have tried my best to recall some of them. Recalling your memory, I have pointed out some of the important features of the viruses, which we have already discussed in the last lecture.